once I got this. All right, I think we are live. So as this is loading up here, I think we're going live right now. So we got Jake Allan, or Jacob Allan, you'll see on his Facebook, but we got him here tonight with us. Super grateful that he has joined us. Jake, thanks for joining us.
No problem.
Sharing your story. We're going to hear a little bit about Jake. He's seen in the last 5 months, so we were just talking about it, from like March, beginning of March, which has been not even 5 months, he's lost 92 pounds, which is like so cool. So we're going to hear all about kind of his story and just how he's done that, where he's at now, like all that fun stuff. So let's just jump in, Jake. Tell us a little bit about your journey as far as like health, a little bit about yourself, what you do. I know you're busy, all that stuff. Tell us a little bit kind of before joining the program, where were you at? What was going on?
Sure. So I mean, 92 pounds down, I was obviously pretty overweight. But basically, I kind of just struggled with my weight ever since high school or after high school, really. And I think I played sports, played football, played offensive line. And I think part of it was like I just continued to eat like I was still playing football and just packed on the weight. But really, it's just been a kind of a roller coaster journey from there. Me and my dad, he's also struggled with his weight his whole life. And we're trying to figure out like, how do you lose weight and keep it off? And we did everything from keto to your crazy HCG diets to anything, right? To try and get the weight off. And some of them would work. Some of them you get the weight off, but a year later, you're right back to where you were and whatnot. But fast forward to 5 months ago, I've been leading up to it. I've been doing a lot of research, trying to figure out like, there's got to be something out there that's like the answer, if you will, on why I'm gaining weight. I was trying to, I guess the summer before, I was in okay shape. I was more fit and whatnot, hitting the weights, that type of stuff. And I was eating fairly healthy, just like a chicken, rice, and veggie diet. And I'd go to work and everyone's like, oh, I wish I could eat like you. You eat so healthy and whatever, but yet I was still gaining weight and it was absolutely maddening and I couldn't figure out why. And so I started to like really delve into a lot of research. I listened to a lot of podcasts and stuff, trying to figure out like, what's the right foods to eat that don't make you fat, and I basically kind of thought like, okay, not one diet's the correct diet, but there's obviously foods that aren't good for us. And I was kind of going down the route of like, it's got to be whole foods, kind of a paleo style, something in that realm. I didn't quite know exactly how to get on track with that, and how to implement that in my life and stuff, and so we were working with my dad. We were trying to figure out, okay, what do we got to do? And we were making little steps to get there. We kind of finally hit a point where like, we got to change like something. We got to change how we're doing food and how we're looking at food and whatnot. And that's when I'd been following Jared for a couple of years on Facebook from a cousin that did your program. And I can't remember what you posted, but I ended up commenting on your post, and you reached out and we got talking and you convinced me to get on a call with you. And I don't know if you remember the call, but you went through, you gave your spiel and everything. And then I just started like firing questions at you, just from every direction, trying to figure out like what it is you're doing, what you're selling and like ultimately what's this diet, and basically you had the right answer for everything I was looking for, which was awesome. Everything you were talking about was ringing true with everything I'd been researching and whatnot, but the greatest thing you had was, here, I can help you and give you the key and the tools to actually implementing it in your life and seeing results and staying on track with that, right? And that's what ultimately was like, okay, I want to do this, right? Like, here's a guy that has what I'm looking for, and whatnot. And so So I convinced my dad that, hey, this is something we need to do. And he got on board and we decided to do it together. And yeah, we started, and I mean, 92 pounds later, 5 months later, it's been great. So yeah, kind of how I got here.
Yeah, that's cool. No, that's perfect. I remember our first call. It was definitely we had lots of good questions, which I love. So
Oh yeah.
So cool. So I know, like, as you mentioned, like, you've been researching a ton. You've been working out. You had like a morning routine where you're hitting the gym, like, and it's so frustrating to not lose the weight and even gain gain the weight. So so, and I know you've tried a lot of stuff, like you mentioned, like various diets, fads, programs, kind of thing. So like, you got started on this, and like, what were some of the things, like, as you've gone through this process now, what's been different for you? Like, as you've gone through the program, what have you experienced? What have you learned? Like, what's really, I mean, obviously, like, we've had lots of conversations about, you know, changing and that kind of thing, but tell me about kind of where you've been at mentally and the mindset space, as far as creating the change that you've seen.
Yeah. So, I mean, definitely mindset, right? Like, I had to get to this point where I was like desperate and just ready to change whatever I had to change, right? Like, and I've talked about it with you, and I talked about it with my dad. Like, we look at food completely different now, right? Like, you have to completely change your mindset about food, you know, and food is no longer like the center of our universe. You know, it's not about the food. You can still make great food. Don't get me wrong. Like, you can make awesome food, but we've kind of had to just change that mentality of, like, you know, the party's not about the food, or whatever event's not about the food. You know, food's kind of more of a, I eat it to sustain myself and whatnot, right? But I definitely kind of just hit that point where it's like, I have to drastically change something in my life, you know, and the nice thing is, having done all these other diets that weren't sustainable or anything like that, going through this one, I truly think it is sustainable. Like, it's something that I can continue on, and it's not going to be hard to continue on. So that's kind of like the biggest thing for me with the program has been, is the food. Like, you're just eating real food, and it's something that I can honestly do for forever, which is nice. You know, it's not overburdensome or anything like that, like some of these other diets are. You can, as long as you stick to your principles, you know, your range of foods is still all there, and stuff. So you can really mix and match and still have variety in life, which is great. But yeah, I mean, it's just been, I think that's the biggest thing for me, has been the sustainability of the diet, that I've really enjoyed. Just seeing, like, hey, like, there's light at the end of the tunnel. Like, you can keep doing this. This is not just a lose some weight fad, you know, type thing. This is a lifetime fad, if you will, you know, lifestyle. It's but that's the big thing. You got to have that mentality of willing to change your lifestyle for it, and it's for the better. And I honestly, I feel a lot better on it. Every once in a while, you miss some of those old sugary, gross food, you know, but you can get over that. That's not hard. But yeah, it's been great on the diet. I feel way better.
Yeah. Cool. That's huge. Sorry, I hit the button to change screens here. So so it sounds like, I mean, what you've seen is that, like, it's just like the fact that because we have, and just everybody knows, like, we have different phases that we go through in our process.
Right.
The beginning is slightly a little bit more specific than as we go forward. But even with losing the weight and what you've been doing, like, what I hear you saying is that you're like, yeah, I could do this forever. Right. And we haven't even gotten to all the, like, next step lifestyle stuff. Like, Jake's still kind of finishing.
I haven't gotten to fun food yet, and I still, like, enjoy it.
Yeah, and so that's what's cool, is you're saying, I can do this. Like, this is sustainable. This is different. It's not a diet. This is like, we're optimizing our health. We're feeling better. We're losing the weight.
Right.
Like, this is something I can do forever, which is really cool.
Right. And, like, physically, not only physically do I feel better, just, like, mentally I feel better on it. Like, it's just, there's a lot of positive with it, going through it and that type of stuff. So it's awesome.
Cool. Well, let's jump into that. Tell me, what have you experienced? So you're busy, and you joined the program in the busiest time of year.
Yeah, so I'm an accountant and I work in public accounting, and I joined right at the beginning of busy season. And like, honestly, I think it was the perfect time to start, because like I was going into that time, I'm like, I'm gonna die if I like don't start doing something positive with myself going into this, right? And so it was great to get into this. It was super structured as far as for the losing phase that you were talking about, right? It was really structured on food, so it was super easy to just know, okay, this is what I'm eating. You know, there was no thought really to it. I worked and I ate and I slept like for 3 months, you know, and the best part is like mentally I was feeling good. Not only because I was losing weight, which is always an awesome feeling. Like it's always super exciting to lose weight, and especially lose it that fast. It's awesome. But I think just the mental aspect of eating clean foods, you definitely feel a difference there in your whatever there, your chemical balance and all that in your body. You just have a mentally better feeling, and physical feeling. You're feeling better. Honestly, it really like helped me and sustained me through that crazy time. You know, it was like, okay, I have work that I'm doing, but I'm also still working on myself, you know, so I kind of had that extra bonus of being able to do that and whatnot. So that's pretty cool to have that during that time.
Yeah, no, that's awesome. I mean, obviously the weight loss is always fun. Like that's great. And that's always good. But the fact that like, because a lot of people will hear, and you're a great, like, if I can just point this out, you're a fantastic like example that you can lose a massive amount of weight very quickly and do it healthily.
Right.
So many people are like, you're going to lose muscle, you're going to feel like crap, you're going to look all gaunt and saggy and whatever. And you're like, and you're just not going to feel good. You're not going to think straight. You're going to have low energy. And like, you can maybe share on this, but like you've been fishing and hunting and working at, you know, chopping wood and like all sorts of stuff through the craziest time of year. And you're feeling better. Right.
Yeah. I mean, I remember at the beginning of it, that was one of my like worries is, okay, we're going to lose all this weight, you know, like, is it going to be like all the other crazy diets that I've done in the past where I lose weight really quick, where I lose all my muscle, right? Because I was big in going to the gym and all of that, right? And so I was kind of worried about that. And so that was one thing that I kind of watched throughout this process is like, how much muscle have I lost, and kind of use that as a pseudo judgment on how healthy it is losing the weight this way. And it's totally night and day difference from other things that I've done. I mean, you lose a little bit of muscle, right? Just from not hitting the gym every day and killing yourself at the gym, you know, and inevitably, you know, over 4 or 5 months, you're going to lose muscle that way, right? And whatnot. So I've lost a little bit, but I haven't even lost near half, not even half, like maybe, you know, just a little bit, 20% maybe size wise. And that's probably half of that's probably fat, you know? So it's like, I don't know, it really proved to me that this is a good, safe, healthy way to lose fat. Because if I'm not losing my muscle, then it's got to be fat that I'm losing, right? I mean, it's the only thing I can think of. And the fact that I feel like I still have energy and I feel great physically and mentally, you know, is also another testament that this is a good way to do it. This is healthy. Your body is okay with it, you know, unlike all the other ways where you're forcing it's like strong arm forcing it to get rid of some fat. It's more of you're getting your body to just release your fat. You're not forcing it. You're just getting it comfortable to the point where it's releasing it and happy to do so.
Yeah, for sure. I always say a surefire way to know that you're losing muscle when you're losing weight is to have low energy.
Right.
Just feel like crap. And so, and especially for someone like you that like you were working out every day,
a couple hours a day,
to going to not working out at all.
Hardest thing ever. It was so hard.
Definitely the hardest thing ever. But as far as size, mass, and strength, you're going to lose a little of that because you're just not doing it. But as far as the kind of biological, like health side of it, losing muscle, you know, like we're talking about, like That's all
Yeah.
there. It's really cool. And that
My core strength is there, and yeah, I'm good.
Yeah, which is super cool. And now that we're, and for those maybe watching who don't know, like we take a little break from at least intense exercise for about 6 to 8 weeks, and then we bring it back in. And Jake's kind of cycled through our process now twice. So he went through not exercising, a little bit of exercise, not exercising.
Right.
Now he's back to
starting a little bit.
Starting to kind of ease back into it, which is awesome. And now he's almost 100 pounds lighter. It's like taking this massive backpack off.
Oh yeah.
Like I can do crazy cool things now.
Let me tell you, push-ups are way easier to do now.
Seriously, when you take the 100 pounds, yeah, I'm sure. Oh, yeah. I remember when I lost the weight the first time, I was like, oh my gosh, like I can do pull-ups. Like,
right?
Really cool,
Oh yeah. Earth-shattering.
Yeah. Awesome, man. Well, that's super exciting. Anything else you kind of experienced or like benefits you've seen? Anything else that's been like a big change for you?
I mean, just overall, kind of just being more happy with yourself, right? Like, not only, I've worked with you, just, it's not all just about losing the weight, it's kind of, seeing different ways that you see yourself and that type of stuff. I think that's helped a lot. Just being able to see yourself in a different light or in a different form. At the beginning of this, I didn't think I'd ever be down to where I was at, and that first round, it was like, oh, wow. Okay. So maybe I actually can get down, further to this, something that I never thought, I'd be able to get to, and you've been able to help me to see that, see myself in a different light and in different ways, both physically, mentally, all that type of stuff. You've been able to help me through that. So that's been pretty cool. But yeah, I would say just overall, the biggest thing I've got, I mean, losing the weight's the best part, right? I mean, that's always great. But really, I guess when I came into it, it was like, okay, well, losing the weight's the bonus. What I'm really getting from this is knowledge on how to live the rest of my life to just stay healthy, where I can be happy, do what I want, live out there in the world and eat the right stuff, and not have to worry about gaining weight. That's really what I'm excited for, and feel like that's what I'm gaining is those principles of how to do that, where I can move forward in life and not have to worry about that anymore. That's probably the most exciting thing I think that I've gained from it so far. Yeah,
that's cool. And just tell everybody, have you counted a calorie? Well, minus a couple of days where we do something specific, but have you counted a calorie in the last 5 months?
No, never counted a calorie.
Never counted a
calorie.
On
5 months. Haven't counted a calorie, and I didn't go to the gym.
Didn't go to the gym. which like some people would be like, this is voodoo, this is snake oil, but you've done it, which is super cool. And I mean, 92 pounds and 10 of that, I think it was it 10, did you say?
Yeah,
10 of it you lost before we started working together, kind of and then 82 together, but it was during that 5-month process that we started. So I mean, that's phenomenal, Jake. Like, I want to congratulate you because you did all the work. Like, you've done it. Like, I'm super pumped for you as far as your progress and just what's to come still. Because I mean, we're just starting the journey.
It's just the beginning, and that's what's so exciting.
So, yeah, it's really cool. We're obviously, we'll get into all the fun foods, the fun stuff that we calories, which is great. So
exactly.
So cool, man. Well, I'm excited for all the benefits, the experiences, the growth that you've seen. If you were to if someone's sitting on the fence, like, should I do this? Should I not? I know, like, we had our conversation in the beginning. What would you say to someone who maybe sitting?
I mean, I'd say you won't regret it, but you got to really go all in. Like, you'll jump in, you'll lose the weight. Follow the program, you'll lose the weight. Like, that's a guaranteed. But it's really up to you to change your mindset and adopt the lifestyle if you truly want to keep it off. But if you're on the fence and you're ready and you're to that point where you're ready to make that commitment, I mean, there's no way you'll regret it. I mean, it's going to give you a foundation that you can live off of for the rest of your life, and you can build on and yeah, it's just great. I don't see any reason why you wouldn't do it. You know, having been through it and that type of stuff. So it's definitely a go for it if you're ready for it.
Yeah, cool. I love that, man. I appreciate the good words there for anybody sitting on the fence. And again, congrats to you
Thanks.
on the journey and thus far. It's obviously
Right.
a process, but yeah, I'm excited. And we'll be at I'm guessing here in the next week or two, we'll probably be closer to 100 pounds.
That's the
just
goal.
a couple more that we're like, okay, we'll get rid of these last 4 or something, whatever.
Right.
Super pumped for you, Jake.
Thanks.
And appreciate you sharing your story with us.
Yeah.
And being willing to share what you've experienced. So.
Yeah, no problem. Thank you.
Okay, awesome. We'll talk to you later.
Yeah, see ya.
Okay, see you.